Hello students, we will start our second lesson, that is plant structure and function. So in this lesson we are going to study the parts of plant, that is root, stem, leaves, flower, etc. Structure of these parts of the plant and their functions. Okay, so let us recall what helps us to identify the plants around us. So various plants have various types of leaves, various types of flowers. So from that we can easily identify which type of plant is there. For example, take an example, rose plant and hibiscus plant. So they have various types of leaves and flowers. So from that we easily identify which is the rose plant and which is hibiscus plant. Okay, then which are the various parts. So as I have told, root, stem, leaves and flowers, these are the important parts of the plant. The root, stem, leaves, flowers, fruits, etc. of different plants are different. We can identify plants with the help of these different characteristics. So due to these parts we can easily identify a particular type of plant. Let us now acquaint ourselves with these plant organs in greater detail. So we have to study all these plant parts in detail. So first one is root. So all of you know that mostly roots are in the soil and they hold the soil very tightly, and due to which plants can stand firmly on the ground. Okay, if roots are not there, plant cannot stand firmly. Okay, because root tightly hold the soil, and most important function of the root is they absorb water and minerals from the soil to make the food. Okay, so that is the importance of the root. So let us see what is given in your textbook. Keep a moistened ball of crumpled paper in a conical flask. Place some soaked moth beans or gram seed in the flask between the paper and glass wall. Observe and note the changes in the 2 to 3 days. So we have to take some moth means matki in Marathi. So some, and gram means harbara. So we have to take some seeds in a crumbled paper, and we have to make the paper moist, so these seeds will get moisture, and with the help of this moisture, these seeds will after soaking properly, they will start germinating. Okay, so you must have seen your mother must be making usal, matki usal, harbara usal. So at that time what do she do? She takes some moth or gram seed and soak in the water for 10 to 12 hours, and after that, by removing water after some time, after 12 hours, these seeds start germinating. So same experiment is here. So observe and note the changes in the seeds in the 2 or 3 days. So after 2 to 3 days, the soaked seeds will start germinating, and they will show these kind of structures. So the upper somewhat green part is called as plumule, from which there is a growth of stem, and later on branches and leaves, everything, and it will grow above the soil, and the lower one part will be like this, which is called as radicle, and from which root system will develop. Okay, so plumule develop into stem and radicle develop into roots. The part that grows from inside the seeds toward the soil is called as radicle. So here it is shown in your textbook. There is a diagram showing radicle. So from radicle roots are developing, and from plumule stem will develop. Plumule will grow above the soil, radicle will grow below the soil. So in the exam there will be a fill in the blank, dash part of the seed develop above the soil, so it is plumule, and dash part develop below the soil, that is radicle, or stem will develop from dash plumule, and roots will develop from dash radicle. Okay, so like this you have read the answer. Then, and the part that grows above the soil is called as plumule. So above the soil plumule, below the soil radicle. The root that that forms from the radical grows into the ground. Okay, so roots will develop afterward and they will grow below the ground. The root is thick near the ground. The root is thick near the ground and then gradually tapers at the pointed end. So as you know that it will be thick at the ground, but afterward it will tapers, mean become small. So roots will after growth roots will tapers, means become small toward the another end, to a pointed end. This part of the plant growing below the soil so this the root that forms the radical grows into the ground. The root is thick near the ground and gradually tapers to the pointed end. This part of the plant growing below the soil for support is called as roots. As we know, as I have told, root gives support to the plant. Roots of some plant produce secondary roots that grow obliquely and spread far wide in the soil. Roots support the plant. This type of root is called as taproot. So as shown in the diagram, this is a taproot. So secondary roots are also shown. The primary root is there, then there are secondary root, then root hair are there, then at the tip of the root there is a root tip and a protective structure is there which is called as root cap. So such type of root is called as taproot and it grows deeply in the soil and gives support to the plant. Okay. Root bears hair like processes near the root tips and they are called as the root hair. So as shown in the figure, root hairs are shown. Then the root tip is delicate. It is very delicate and this is covered with the this root tip is delicate. This is the region of the growth of the root. So from this there is a growth of root. The tip is covered by a cap like structure called as the root cap. So there is a cap like structure is present at the root tip which is called as root cap and its function is to protect the root tip, okay, from injuries. Then again a small activity is there you can do at home. Take a glass jar and fill 3/4 of it. So with water, we have to take small glass jar and we have to fill it 3/4 with water. Place an onion on the mouth of the jar in such a way that its roots are toward the water. So we have to put one onion on that like this as shown in the. Why we have to use glass jar? Because we have to observe the roots developed in the onion bulb. Okay, then observe the growth of the roots for 8 days. So we have to observe through glass, as it is a transparent, you can observe the growing roots. Thread like or fiber like roots arising from the stem are called as the fibrous roots. So you can see here the roots are like a thread or like a fiber, dhaga. Okay, so such type of roots are called as the fibrous root. Understood? So two types of roots are there, taproot and fibrous root. So what is the characteristic of fibrous root, taproot? So there is a one main root which is called as primary root which grows deep in the ground, and then there is a development of secondary root. Understood? And it mainly helps in supporting the plant. Okay, and in case of fibrous root, fiber or thread like roots are present. Okay, and here only one root is there, okay, in taproot, but in fibrous root many roots are developed. Thread like or fiber like many roots are there. That is the difference between taproot and fibrous root. Thus there are two main types of root, taproot and fibrous root. Dicot plant, dicotyledonous or dicot plants have a taproot. Dicots means having two cotyledons, like for example groundnut. So we can separate this seed into two parts, okay, or gram, harbara. So after soaking you can see that it can be divided into two hulls or two parts. Understood? Such type of seeds are called as dicot. And monocot means we cannot divide it into two parts. There is only mono means always one and di means always two. So in monocot seed we cannot separate the seed into two parts. For example, jawar, bajra, wheat, rice, all these are monocot. We cannot divide it into the two parts like this groundnut and gram. Okay. Then third activity, sow the seeds of plant like mustard. Mustard means in Marathi mohri. You must have seen in your home. Then sorghum or jawar, maize, that is corn, pea means watana. Okay. Then coriander means kothimbir, etc. in an earthen pot. Cultivate the plant for 8 days. Once the plant grows 15 to 20 centimeter height, uproot them. So we have to take these seeds of mustard, jawar, corn, pea, coriander, and we have to sow them in a earthen pot. And after 15 to 20, after 8 to 10 days, they will grow 15 to 20 centimeter. Okay, and then we have to uproot them carefully while the soil is moist, and put them gently in a large conical flask, okay, containing water. The soil will washed off without any harm to the roots. Observe roots carefully to see which plants have taproots and which one have fibrous roots. So we have to take these seeds, we have to sow them in a earthen pot, and after some time they will grow and their height will be up to 15 to 20 centimeter. Then we have to gently uproot these plants. Okay, we have to take out them from the soil and then put them in a conical flask containing water. Okay, and then we have to observe their roots. So you will observe that plants like coriander, so coriander have a taproot. Okay, your mother must be bringing coriander, kothimbir. So observe the root of coriander, it is a taproot. Understood? So likewise you can observe these roots and identify them. So in a taproot there is a one long root, and in fibrous root the roots are like this onion, which have many roots like thread or fiber. Okay, from that you can easily identify. Then plant like maize, sugarcane, sorghum have two types of roots. Some roots are underground, whereas some grow from the stem just above the soil. So in maize, sugarcane, sorghum means jawar. So they have two types of roots. Some roots grow in the soil, while as some roots grow to the stem above the soil. The latter are called as the adventitious roots. So these roots are especially for the giving support. Okay, because maize, sugarcane, sorghum has a this fibrous root, so they are not sufficient for the support. So nature have given adaptation, they are given some extra roots above the soil, and they are called as the adventitious roots. Besides the normal functions like absorption of water and minerals, anchoring and supporting the plant, perform some other functions too. So many roots in many plants, some extra roots are there. So along with their normal function, what is the normal function of the root? To absorb water and mineral from soil. So some other functions are also done by these roots. Roots show some modifications to perform these additional functions. So there is some modification, means some changes are there, so they can carry out some other functions are there also. Some examples of such modified roots are aerial roots, okay, then stilt roots, then runners, and breathing roots or nematopores. So they have some other function. For example, aerial roots are helpful for taking breathing. Okay, then stilt roots are for taking support. Then runners, for example, there is a what we call it as a runners, example grass. Okay, so they have very long roots. Okay, so they also give from these runners we can develop new plant. Then breathing roots are again responsible for, or they which function they are doing. Breathing root, they breathe, that's why they are breathing roots. Okay, so along with normal functions, some other extra functions are also carried out by this type of root. Then again there is a small activity. Take some water in a small glass jar, and then we have to take some water in a glass jar, and then put a plant in a put a plantlet in it in such a way that its roots are dipped in water. So their roots will be in the water. Mark the water level on the jar and add 5 ml of oil to the water. Record the water level on the next day. So very simple activities there. We have to take some water, we have to take some plantlet, means small plant, and we have to put that plantlet in the water as shown in the diagram, and we have to put some oil also on that water. Why? Otherwise water get evaporated due to heat. Okay, and what we have to study, how much water is absorbed by roots. Now as we have put some oil, water cannot evaporated. Okay, and roots will absorb the water, and decrease in the water level clearly shows that the roots of that plantlet have absorbed the water. So from this activity we will come to know that roots absorb water. Okay, then use your brain power. What would have happened if plants like tamarind, banyan and mango had fibrous roots? So tamarind means chincha, banyan you know, and mango also you know. So they have a taproot. But if what would happen if they have this fibrous root? So as I have told, fibrous root does not go deep in the soil, and these plants are very huge and heavy. And if they do not have taproot, and if they have a fibrous root, so they will not get the proper support and they will collapse. Okay, what will happen if the root tip is injured? So if the root tip is injured, it will not grow further. Okay, which type of roots do fenugreek, spinach and onion? So fenugreek means methi, so it also have a taproot. Spinach also have a taproot, and onions have a fibrous root. Okay, then do you know? So there is some information regarding this banyan plant, which is very huge. Okay, so you should read that from the textbook. Okay, then why are the underground parts of plant like radish, carrot, beet and sweet potato thick, flesh and swollen? So these underground parts of radish, carrot and beet, they store food, that's why they become fleshy and swollen. Which part of the plant they are? So in potato, for example, it is a stem. Okay, so likewise then the next one, so it is about the root. Now next one is stem. So as shown in the diagram, you can observe here there is a stem. So let us study of the stem. The stem grows above the soil, so all of you know that, from the plumule of the sprouting seed. So as I have told, from plumule, from radical roots, and from plumule stem develops. As the sprout grows, the growth of the stem gradually increases. So as the sprout grows, sprout means germinated seed, so as it grows, the length of stem also gradually above the ground. Gradually means step by step. There are nodes on the stem, so here you can see nodes are there. Then leaves come out of the nodes, so from nodes there is a growth of leaves. Then the part of the stem between two nodes is called as internode. So the part between two nodes is called as internode. The tip or the apical end of the stem is called as bud. So tip of node means the above end of the this stem is called as the bud. Then observe a branch of any plant and identify its parts. Okay, so you can take one branch and observe the node, internode and bud. Okay, node means it is the part of stem from which leaves grow. Okay, and internode means the part between two consecutive nodes, that is called as internode. And from the apex or upper end of the stem there is a growth of bud, which is also called as growing end. It is not that bud from which flower comes. Okay, it is not that bud, it is different type of bud. It is a growing end from which further the stem will grow. Understood? So don't confuse with the that flower bud, it is not that bud. Then one activity is there, you have to make one chart and we have to observe the stem of three plants, sugarcane, fenugreek and any other plant you can take. Then you have to write thickness of that node and you have to write the length of internode. So if available you can measure this thickness of node and internode and then write complete the table. Okay, so with this we have finished the stem. In exam there will be a question with the label diagram, develop the describe the parts of stem. So you have to write this answer. Understood? So which are the parts of this stem? Nodes, internodes and growing bud. Understood? So very easy and only 2 to 3 points are there. So there are nodes on the stem, leaves come out of the nodes. This will be first point. Then second part, the part of the stem between two nodes is called as internode, that is second point. And third point, the tip or the apical end of the stem is called as bud. And first point is stem is the part of plant which grow above the soil from the plumule. So that so these are the points you are supposed to write for this answer. Okay, so for homework you have to you have to draw these diagrams: tap root, fibrous root, and then next one parts of stem. Understood? Okay, so for today it is sufficient. Thank you.